Yo, welcome to the NS9 postgame show powered by Permane Brothers. I'm your host, Anthony DiNardo. With me, we have Dougie Fresh. Doug, you and I back at it once again. What's up, my friend?
Hey, this is probably the first time we've done a show where the Pirates have scored 10 runs. So
probably.
Instead of talking about the pitching, we have some new ground to cover anyway. So,
and you know what? With you saying that, I'm confident I don't even have to fact check that.
Yeah,
I think that's that could be a real stat, unlike your fake one you had the other day.
Right, I did not make that one. There'll be some other made up ones throughout the show. See if you.
I'm sure. Good. But yes, the Pittsburgh Pirates defeat the Boston Red Sox in Boston for the second day in a row. They've already won the series.
Yeah.
They've already won the series, Doug. They've taken 2 out of 2 so far. They beat them today, 10-3, of all things. 10 runs ties the most that the Red Sox have allowed in Fenway this year. So, of course, naturally, the Pittsburgh Pirates are one of those teams.
This team, I mean, has this been – I don't even want to call it – it's not even really a confounding season, really, because they've just been bad. But they do have these little stretches like, okay, I'm squinting. I'm squinting, and I can see it. I can see it. I mean, everybody in the lineup had a hit. I think 6 guys, 1, 2, 3, I don't know, it was 5 or 6 guys had an RBI. The Pirates trailed. They took a lead. They gave up the lead. They trailed and came back for the second time in a row. They scored in multiple innings. This is not typically what they do. Even in the games where they look great, or whatever, they win 2-1, they win 1-0. It's all the runs are scored in 1 inning. They're scored in the second inning, and then they strike out the rest of the game and that sort of thing. It's a good win. It's a good win. It's in a lost season, what we got to do is we got to find things to take some joy out of, I suppose. And this was an easy one to do that.
You find some things. You hope at least in the end of the season they finish strong with guys that are going to be here for the following year. You look for the small things, and you are correct. It's like the weird thing about this year for the Pirates is they've been bad. But, I mean, not only if you squint, you see some things, but they just do, like, historical things. I feel like every day or close to every day, it's like, well, the Pirates lose, but the first time ever in MLB history they did this or they did that. Jared Triolo. So this is thanks to Alex Stump, but since 1901, 16 Pirates, 16 times a Pirate has led off a game by a walk, a hit by pitch, an error, and a hit, right? Got on base 4 times by those means. Jared Triolo did it tonight for the second time in his career.
I've been to 12 of those games. Most of them were in the early, 1900s. But,
of course. Right.
I've seen some of that. So.
You've went.
It's
Alex didn't check.
Yeah, he didn't check my attendance. I've got the stubs.
He confirmed with you. Right. He's like, hey, Doug, I want to know something. How many times has it been done?
I didn't use SeatGeek in 1912. So, I've got a big piece of cardboard still from there.
Right.
Actually, it was, I think, a slab of marble, but it was engraved. Triolo was much like the Pirate season. It was really, really terrible for a long time, but suddenly is looking really good. He's made a slight adjustment, and wow, what an adjustment it's been. It's really paid off. I've sent some questions out to be like, is this sustainable? Right. I mean, we've fallen for it. It's happened the last 2 seasons. We'll see. It's same thing. He's going to be on the team next year. He's getting at bats. So I'd rather see him do well than not, and that hope that it could somehow carry over next year in April. It's like you said, it's been a really weird season, even though most of it's been depressing. We're still seeing some amazing pitching, and then you have games like this where it's like, wow, everybody hits, And I mean, they're playing a good team. They've just won the series from a team that is much better than they are.
And also super hot right now. Like, I
yeah,
mean, they're catching them when, I mean, they're firing all cylinders.
yeah. This isn't like when we played Detroit. Detroit had lost 9 of 11, or no. The team they're on fire. They're playing well. They've got young guys doing great things, and it didn't matter. Johan Oviedo comes in and does his thing. I'm just so happy for him. It's like that had to be a rough 2 years there, and he's back. He's looking good. I think he pitched 5 innings today. Right?
5, gave up 2, 3 hits, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, 2 earned.
Yeah, I think he struck out Anthony 3 times. I think, or got him out 3 times. I think.
I know Anthony struck out 3 times. I'm not sure how many was by Oviedo, but a couple at least. But he did. Like, Johan Oviedo looked good again today. I know it's all small sample at this point. He's coming back from the injury, but things you want to see. I mean, the first game, we keep reiterating, the first game he came up, he didn't play well, right? He pitched like an inning, got lit up. Since then, though, he's pitched strong. I call it what it is. Like, I know it's 3 games since then. It's just 3 games, but in those 3 games, he's looked really good. His first time out, he played Toronto, also a good team, a good offensive team. He went 5 innings, giving up 1 earned. Then he faced the Cardinals, gave up 1 earned and 4. Today, 2 earned against the Red Sox in 5. Like, there's strong offensive teams in that mix too, and he's held his own against them. So, I mean, you look at the pitch mix, you look at, I mean, he's looking effective as well. Today, a little wild, gave up 3 walks. Again, going back to his very first start, that was what did him in, right? It was his first time in the majors since 2023. First time pitching up here. He's been injured, right? He had the 3 walks, 2 hits in that first, outing of that inning. But since then, 1 walk today, 3. So again, the control wasn't as good today, but the stuff was every bit as good.
Yeah, and that's a tough park to pitch into. I don't think people ever give the park the credit that it deserves, and some of these places we go, and he contained him. He wasn't as sharp as he's been. Still only gave up 2 runs. Certainly gave us a chance to win. Kept us in the game. All those little cliches we like to use in the 1-0, 2-1 game. So
sure,
he did everything he was supposed to do, and look, this team's going to start 10, 12 guys next season. Right. We're going to have guys on limited innings, inning limits. We're going to have all sorts of stuff going on. Injuries are going to happen. Stuff, ineffectiveness is going to happen. It's nice, that I think can count on him to be a strong part of the rotation next year. He certainly is showing that he deserves the opportunity. It'll be one of the most fun things to watch next spring training is like who is going to be that first, starting 5, who are going to be the first 5 guys out of the gate.
I mean, you want to talk about a true competition. That's what it appears is heading towards 2026. I mean, there's going to be a real battle.
We're not just giving somebody a spot, right? We're not just, it'd be interesting. I mean, for the first time, and I won't be mad if they go sign a Heaney type again or something like that, but they don't have to, right? I mean, they could put the money into offense next year. I think there's enough starting pitching here. And now, Skeens is a veteran now. I understand he's young, but he was, I think, a veteran after his 3rd start last year.
He was a veteran the hour after he got drafted.
Yeah. I mean, he's him, as the kids like to say. And so you got him. You've got Keller. Oviedo's got some starts under his belt. He's still young in his career, that sort of thing. But I don't feel the need to go sign some crafty veteran and hope he can have a bounce back season or something. If they do, again, I'm never mad when you sign a decent, pitcher. And again, hopefully it's a different GM, but this team has obviously shown a pretty good ability to get some good results from that.
Absolutely. Like you said, like I'm not going to be opposed to it. I mean, the more arms, the merrier, but
don't be silly, Doug. That's my brand.
Sorry. But again, like that, what you're seeing right now, coming into the season, Oviedo was coming off the injury. You thought the pitching was going to be strong this year. Obviously, you were hoping they're going to be competing to some level at least this year. So, we were hoping Oviedo could be part of this mix. Obviously, he got the injury on top of coming back from the Tommy John, separate injury, shoulder, that delayed that and the season to go the way that it went. So, we didn't get to see that. But we are seeing what Oviedo can present for next year at this point in time. And again, like at least you're seeing it heading into next year than having to assume or guess like we were last year. So far, so good. This is what you want to see. And again, he's doing better than I anticipated he would look coming into this year before the injury. So again,
right.
like so far, everything looks really good, really strong for him. And again, when you're talking about the nature of the pitching depth here, as I keep overstating, it's not just guys. Like, it's not just like, hey, there are 7 guys that are labeled a starter. So, you're not going to worry about finding arms per se. This is like really like 6, 7 talented arms that you have that, like you talked about, all fighting for a rotation. So every time these guys go up to pitch, there's meaning behind it. I know it's a meaningless season, but there's meaning behind all this. There's meaning in the sense of they're getting meaningful MLB innings, right? Oviedo's re-entering the rotation. He's facing live batters again. He's marking his place in, hey, I want to battle for the rotation next year. So like all these guys are having like a really friendly competition right now, but it's also a lot of development that's taking place at this point in time also that you're liking to see. Also, real quick before I turn it to you, Doug, shout out to Rob for the 10 gifted NS9 memberships. 10 more members today on our YouTube channel. So awesome stuff. We appreciate that.
Thanks, Rob. Yeah, enjoy those memberships, people. We'll try to make them worthwhile. Yeah, I mean, right. We didn't expect this from Oviedo, and that was before he had the setback. We were hoping he could come contribute. And again, we had some obviously misguided hopes that this team might contend this year. Boy, do we feel foolish now. Don't go back and watch those episodes of NS9. From last offseason, we might sound a little
I mean, hey, Doug, as recent as even today it's happening. I mean, Ryan's FanDuel lock of the day was taking the money line on the Red Sox. They were minus 174, and Ryan's like, I'm going to double down. He made his mark last night that the Pirates on the road, even with Paul Skeen starting, like he was like, no, we're good, Red Sox. And today is like, oh, Oviedo, yeah, for sure. 10-3. Once again, fade Ryan.
And, it's appropriate that he's doing this against Boston because the children of the people that are placing these bets are going to Harvard. So they can now afford Harvard. Thank you, Ryan.
We're plants of Pittsburgh Pirates. He's plants of the Boston economy.
Exactly. I mean, in the end, he's going to help turn out some wonderfully educated young people that will lead us into the future. So I'm very excited about that.
We appreciate your services, Ryan.
Right. Again, all we could do, and this is a post-game show, but all we could do is really kind of hope about next year and see what can happen. And when you're getting this kind of pitching from the young guys, this kind of pitching from the veterans, it's hard not to think, okay, there's a possibility if they would do a couple good things. How many teams out there are like, man, we really need some great help with our pitching? And certainly we do too. But they can win every game. They can win every game and get counted twice, and they still need to fire Ben Cherington. You know what's a good day? Do you know what today is a good day to fire Ben Cherington? Today. He should be fired today. But I mean, it's someone's going to get hurt. There's going to be that. And it's like, I mean, I still remember the first year of PNC Park, and we go to that first, I go to that first game. We're all excited. And we lost 3 pitchers in the last week of spring training. There was no coming back from that. There was no coming. And then Willie Stargell dies, the night of, the night or the morning of the first game. I remember sitting there at PNC Park for the first time, and wow, this is beautiful. This is great. The season's over. So now
let's not talk too deep into that, Doug. Let's save that for like maybe April of next year and revisit those memories.
24 years later.
Again, like the 2023 Oviedo, just still like I'm still like I'm grasping. Like I'm afraid something's going to happen. I mean, Jared Jones also is going to be coming back from the mix here. He's out for injury. I don't want to see any more of these injuries heading into.
No, don't want to see any injuries. But
no, Doug.
First game at Forbes. I was there. First game at Forbes. I paid a nickel for my seat, so it was a bargain. But yeah, I mean, again, like we're not counting on anything happening this September that's going to turn this season around or anything. So what we want to see is stuff that makes us feel better for 2026. Watching Johan Oviedo pitch like that, watching Burrows pitch the way he's pitched, Ashcraft, Bubba, I don't have to be a complete depressive this whole offseason. There's something there. Right. Much work to be done, but yeah, watching this pitching has been exciting.
And I want to transition from that because, like, you make a good point. We're talking about, heading into 2026 and why things that are happening right now do matter, right? We talk about the arms. There's a lot of arms. And honestly, right now, today, there's a lot of arms on this team that are, air quote, starters, right? You have Paul Skeens. You have Mitch Keller. You have Oviedo. You have Ashcraft. You have Burrows. You have Bubba Chandler, who's now up in the mix. And theoretically speaking, maybe Carmen Baczynski's also in the mix. I mean, I hope not. But again, he has started or whatever, blah, 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 blah. With that being said, Mike Burrows pitched 59 innings last year. He's at 109. Well, I guess before today. So I guess 111 innings right now today. Braxton Ashcraft pitched, I think, 75 innings last year. He's also over 100 right now on the season. Obviously, Oviedo was injured all of last year, was injured heading into this year. He's pitching a little bit. So, like, you also want to monitor innings. So I also want to say this because Burrows comes out of the pen today, right? He's been starting. He comes out of the pen. What is your thought on this and how they're managing? Again, Ashcraft was in the bullpen for a bit of time. Now he's starting. Burrows came up as a starter. He's in the pen today. Obviously, we all hear about Bubba Chandler, right? He's not starting. He's a bulk innings guy at this point. Hey, Burrows comes in today, 2 innings. He gives up 5 hits, though, one earned run, 2 strikeouts. But again, 2 innings out of the pen.
I think they're doing a good job. I'm hoping they learned their lessons from 23, where, the last 6 weeks of the season, they just alternated pitching Keller and Oviedo and then, threw in an occasional bullpen game. I mean, it was terrible. We all talked about the wear and tear they were putting on these guys. We were not surprised at the results. So, yeah, these guys are young. Again, Burrows is coming off an injury, right? Ashcraft has had some injuries. There's no reason in this season to overpitch anybody, right? I won't be mad if they skip Skeens. I want to see Skeens pitch every start. I want to see him pitch as many innings as he can. I want him to make sure he wins the Cy Young. If they push him back a start for 2 days, I'm not going to be mad. The most important thing that's left in this season is seeing what these guys can do, but getting them healthy into next season. Be delicate, be gentle, take it easy, err on the side of caution and abundance of caution, overabundance of caution, all that sort of stuff. I'm here for it. There's still some other guys we could, bring Barco up. I don't know how many innings he's got, available, in the tank.
Well, he seems to be used right now in like relief role or opener role in Indy.
Right. So yeah, there's, right. And we're going to have some games where the bullpen can't cover the innings because of this, right? Because we're going to have 3 guys on here that are bulk relievers, and we're going to be left with having to rely on Johan Ramirez and some of those type guys. That's fine. It's fine. Again, we're not trying to gain any ground on anybody. I'd like to see us maybe chase the Cardinals down just for something, just for fun. I'm not saying give games away or anything, but yeah, make sure these pitchers go into the offseason healthy, ready to go, rested up, and ready to add, another 25 to 30 innings to the totals, next year. And right, I mean, Burrows is at what, 50? What'd you say, 50 or 75 innings?
He's at 111 right now on the
yeah.
After
okay. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he's going to be limited next year, right? I mean, maybe he gets to 150, maybe.
But I mean, as a number 5 starter, that's all you really kind of need. But again, also, I mean, that's you're doubling his innings, this year and stuff. And not that he hasn't done it before in the past, but again, like you want, again, you kind of nail on the head. Your biggest effort right now is to make sure they're developing in the majors, they're getting some meaningful MLB innings, but they're rolling into 2026 healthy. You want a stable of pitchers. You want to talk about this talent. You want to make sure it's there. You don't want to lose it because you were stupid. They're not saying it's going to happen, and not saying that this way is going to avoid injuries also,
Right.
right? But again, like we witnessed Johan Oviedo. You witnessed where they only had Mitch Keller and Johan Oviedo, and they rode out their arms the rest of the year. And Keller survived it, and Oviedo had to go to knife and get Tommy John surgery. So, I mean, would I rather Burrows stay in the rotation and have to go ×2 Tommy John, or Ashcraft stay in the rotation, who's already has a checkered history past, and have to get Tommy John again, or find a way to manage it? And I do appreciate the way that they were managing. They're finding guys getting starts who are starters. They're seeing them maybe hold back on the innings while still being in the majors, being in the bullpen. So again, I appreciate that. Burrows, I thought, also pitched well enough today. That first inning he went out there. I know he gave up the hit, and then he gave up the hit to Spencer Horwitz, who bounced off his glove. Then he still tried to go for the double play, ends up getting no play. He tries to throw the second base, sees that the out's not there, so let me go run to first, and then he gets outran, and the guy gets to first base. So like, also there was some bad defense for Burrows that makes the stat line look worse than it is. He could have been out of the inning. Like, that should have been a double play. Spencer Horwitz should have caught it. Field, I should say, not caught, but fielded the grounder, threw it the second, make the out there. The double play gets made out first again, inning over. However, that's not.
Right. That's stuff they need to tighten up, right? For a million reasons. I mean, one, a team that's with our limitations can't be giving extra outs, but also, I don't want our pitchers throwing extra pitches, right? Like, the best way to protect these guys is get the outs that are there.
Yeah. If you want to monitor innings, then get the outs.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we're so often at odds with what this organization is doing. We never understand their roster construction, but I'll give credit. I have no problem, no complaints about the way they're handling these pitchers and their innings and how they're using them. I'm sure Burrows would probably prefer to start, but I think he has to. He knows to. Hey, look.
And he has started. It's not like
exactly.
He's taken that,
and he's proven himself, right? He's proven that he deserves to be in the competition for starting rotation next year, and probably has a leg up on some of the guys. So, it's they're handling it well. I give them credit.
Yep, I'm with you. He's shown to me he's a capable fifth starter. So at this point in time, just make sure he's going into 2026 healthy. He's still getting development. He's still facing major league pitchers or hitters. He's still getting major league outs. So you probably want to find him at close to like 120, 25 innings, maybe 130 for the end of the year, opposed to getting closer to like the 130 plus range. So again, getting him at the bullpen at this point in time, limiting some of those innings and allowing other guys, right? Because again, you see Ashcraft is in the rotation. It might be time to see Bubba in the rotation again. So, or not again, but finally see Bubba in the rotation. And if he is in there, like, who's getting kicked out? So again, it might be Burrows to kind of save his arm and limit himself some. So again, no problem. But again, Burrows, he got in some jam there. Again, it wasn't really totally self-induced. It was a lot of the defense, and then he hunkered down. Back-to-back strikeouts, the end, or I should say, got another hit and scored the run. But then after that, like, back-to-back strikeouts to end the inning when there was a lot of guys on base. He showed some stuff there, so it was nice to see that. And then, of course, Johan Ramirez comes in, and Sick comes in and closes it. Sisk comes in and closes it out. But again, like, they win 10-3. Do you want to switch to the offensive side now as well?
Yeah, let's talk about the offense.
This offense is
because there was offense. There was offense to talk about.
It is what it is, but since the All-Star break, this offense has been coming alive. It's been about a league average offense. Obviously, a lot to do with that is Brian Reynolds has been showing up. Brian Reynolds again today showed up. When you mentioned, right, the Pirates took a lead and they lost the lead. They came back from that. That was Brian Reynolds right there. He hits the two RBI double to regain that lead.
It was a single.
My bad. It was a single.
I only correct you to say the Pirates had two guys score off of a single. That doesn't happen a lot. We usually don't get two guys to score off of a double. So, I was like, holy cow. And Brian Reynolds did not strike out today too, which was nice.
Yeah.
So
again, a big part of that is Brian Reynolds. Since then, he's turned it on. He's been looking like old old school Brian Reynolds, the guy that you expect to see. He didn't provide that, and the big part of this season, why the offense has been so bad, is because of Brian Reynolds. Now,
Right.
again, you and I talk because we're on this post game show every time, it seems, right? One thing we want to see is Brian Reynolds finish out the season, and so far that's what he's doing. Spencer Horwitz, another one. I think he's batting 309 or 310 in like his last 140 plate appearances. He has, I think, 8 doubles, 5 home runs. He's been turning it on as well. He's been a big part of the reason why they're playing better the second half. Also, Jared Triolo, big part since he's come back up from the AAA and into the lineup after the Brian Hayes.
What he's doing sustainable. What do you think? I mean,
what he's doing, probably not. But again, what I'm alluding to is I don't need him to be this. I don't need him to be the top 5 shortstop in baseball. I just need him to be.
Right, he could be what his season statistics are now, right? A
1-WAR player
with a 680 OPS, right?
Yeah, well, and that's right. That's what I'm alluding to. Like, if he's what he shows in the totality of this year, right? He had a bad first half, the good second half, with the numbers normalizing right now at this point. Like, yes, if he is a 680 OPS, I am taking that. Right. I am taking that all day long for Jared Triolo, because again, the defense is good. That makes him a 2-WAR or probably more than a 2-WAR player. So absolutely, I'm not buying in that Jared Triolo is a 160 weighted runs created plus, like a 6-WAR player, which is like what he's doing right now.
Well, I just meant sort of, can he be an average hitter? Right?
Sure,
average hitter.
Yeah, and I still want to pump the brakes a little bit. I'm still like, I need to see how he finishes the year. Right. I entertained this idea, and the second I brought it up, he's been this. So again, like, I'm loving it because I'm entertained. I'm intrigued by the idea of Jared Triolo being the opening day shortstop next year, hoping that Connor Griffin's ready May, June-ish or something. So again, I'm still wait and see mode. I still need to see more from him. I also need to see what Connor Griffin's doing, which, by the way, another hit today. 6 straight games with a hit and an RBI for Connor Griffin. 7 RBIs last night, 2 home runs.
He's hitting over 300.
He's answering some questions too right now. So again, everything that I'm looking forward to for, I think, the most advantageous thing to happen for them as far as shortstop goes is happening. But I don't think that what you're seeing right now is all smoke and mirrors by Jared Triolo. Can it last? That's what we need to find out. But I'm liking it.
Right. It's really important for this team to not be buried at the beginning of the season, right? Because, again, even if Brian Reynolds comes back and has his best year, he's probably not having a good April, May. We cannot have 8 hitters on this team hit 170 in April and May, right? Or we're just buried. So, that's my concern now. Is can we, my dream is that they sign guys that can just have a 0.5 WAR every month of the season offensively. Just that's all. I don't need hot streaks. Just steady, kind of do it every day type thing, and we'll see. But yeah, it's hard not to. He started a little earlier this year, and I think he's. That first year, all it was BABIP, and all it was slapping it over the second baseman's head. But he's driving the ball a little now. He's hitting the ball hard. He looks better than he has in the past while doing this.
He certainly does.
Yeah,
but it's also a month almost.
Right. And it's also at the end of the year.
What do we see at 2 months?
Trust what happens this time of year. We for a million years, we've watched people come up and have great Septembers. And part of it used to be because you brought up 27 rookies, and you were hitting against guys that were AA players. And, but now even still, like, the season wears on, teams get out of it. They're doing, guys have checked out. It's hard to believe in any production this time of year, but it's just like spring training. I'd rather see it than not. I'd rather explain away good production than shrug off bad production and say, oh, it's the end of the year.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. As you mentioned, everyone got a hit. 5 guys had an RBI. As far as multi-hit guys, Spencer Horwitz had 2 hits. Andrew McCutchen had 2 hits. Andrew McCutchen now has 10 hits in his past 8 games. Nick Gonzales, 2 more hits today. So 12 hits in total, 7 walks, and then just 9 strikeouts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dustin May, again, I want to say here, like, Dustin May came out in that first inning. I mean, they got to him. Now, obviously, it wasn't all perfect. Again, start off by the error. That's how Jared Triolo got on and such. But then I want to say this: Dustin May came out the second inning, and he looked like a totally different monster. 3 straight strikeouts. The Pirates had looked like they had no answer. And I want to say, like you mentioned, like they had to come from behind. When you saw that second inning and the way they looked, I felt like, oh dear, this is not going to go well. May has found something. The Pirates are baffled, and this is it. But that's not what happened. The Pirates came back out the third, and they never looked back. They just attacked, and 10 runs at the end of the day.
After that first inning, and then the way the second inning went, I was very concerned that we missed some opportunities there, right? Because we had guys on, and then we didn't deliver, we didn't produce. We could have scored more runs there. So, and then I'm like, oh no, May is going to set career highs in innings and strikeouts, and then they lost the lead. You get a little more nervous, and then boom, they come in, and everybody gets a hit. Everybody moves somebody over. And like I said, it's Brian Reynolds getting a single that knocks in 2 runs. Tommy Pham comes right back. I listened to the show last night with you, and I feel a little cheated on that you were doing a show with somebody besides me. But, I know Neil's younger and prettier, but still it hurt.
I'm sorry, Doug. Please forgive me. I didn't mean anything. I promise. I don't remember his name.
After all this time we've had together.
No, I'm
just going to throw it away for a pretty face.
Sorry. I was weak.
If you're going to cave in to anybody, let it be Neil. I understand. But the Tommy Pham conversation is getting interesting now. I mean, do you bring him back?
I don't know.
Yeah. And I know you had a conversation, I believe, with Tyler. Who would you bring back, Pham or Kutch? I mean, this new general manager's got some decisions to make.
This new general manager. Talk about getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure. But like you mentioned with Tommy Pham, I mean, he went 1 for 2 today. It was a big hit as well. He had two RBI, did get a walk also. Hit one right to the pitcher as well, got out. Very hard hit.
Yeah.
So yes, I mean, Tommy Pham still just slowly being Mr. Steady. Big part of this offense. And then I want to mention this too. Oneil Cruz played some pretty good defense in the center field, but he finally broke out. He hit a home run today, his 19th on the year. I think it went 426 feet, something like that. Also, the very next at bat versus a lefty to the warning track.
Yeah, in center. He was
on the
deep center field there.
Yes. So I think it was the 3rd longest ball hit today, which ended up being out. But he was on the IL, had the concussion, came up, has been struggling again. I mean, he's been struggling for a while. But obviously been struggling since he's come off the IL. Also, maybe, hopefully, something getting it back into the rhythm. It was nice seeing him, and he also, again, like you said, center field. It was nice seeing Oneil Cruz. Now, the one at bat wasn't too pretty seeing. I will say that. So it's still a mixed bag. It's still Oneil Cruz. He had that strikeout where it just looked. I mean, he was completely baffled on that. He had no idea what was coming to him. Swung at the pitch up in the zone, just wailing. But when you take that plate appearance away, he looked much better at the plate.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably never going to be a guy that's just solid and steady all the time. He's the kind of guy that's going to exasperate you with, both ends of the spectrum in a game. He's going to make a fantastic throw and then drop an easy pop fly. He's going to rip a home run and then get picked off second base. I mean, it's going to be the Oneil Cruz experience. If we could just get it to, a little more consistent and get the highs more than the lows.
Mm-hmm.
I've been having a debate with a friend about him all the time. And I'm like, the Pirates aren't going to, he keeps saying put Connor Griffin in center field. I'm like, they're not going to give up on Oneil Cruz, and they can't. They don't have anybody with his ceiling. They're not going to be able to sign anybody with his that level of skill. And they need to find a way to get it out of him. Right. He might not ever be a perennial all-star, but we need to get at least a 30-50 season out of him at one time, and get that. I mean, he's a year into playing center field, and we've seen improvement. So, hopefully, he can just pull it together just a little more each season And because again, I mean, the story of this season are him and Reynolds, right? I mean, it's just, if those two guys produced the way that we thought they would, we'd probably have quite a few more wins and would be having different conversations now about these kind of games.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of reasons, but you're absolutely correct. Those two are a big part. And unfortunately, it starts with Reynolds because Reynolds had a horrible beginning where Cruz actually was really good.
Yeah.
Cruz was one of the top hitters in baseball, like through May. And then that's when it started coming down, and then it really dropped off, in June plus. But right. I mean, Cruz is going to be Oneil Cruz. Like, he simply is. He's so talented. He's a freak of nature. He is going to give you the extremes on both ends, just because the way he is. What you want to see is the sum of parts equal to a 3+ WAR player, and he has that talent, and that's what he was looking at the end of the day. But ironically, like, he has less WAR today than he did on May 15th, I believe it is.
Yeah.
I mean, he's actually had like negative WAR. That's how bad it's been.
It's been that bad.
Right. So again, like you see the extremes right now. You saw the uber talented player at the beginning of the year, where a lot of stuff was progressing. You love to see what he was doing, and then right now, he's swinging and flailing away at sliders down low, but then he's watching pitches go right down the middle. He just looks very, very lost up there. The defense has certainly improved. Obviously, he's still leading the stolen base department. That's a talent right there. But you want to see him be, like you said, a little more consistent. He's been in a super funk. Hopefully today helps that. So again, it was nice to see Oneil Cruz hit that home run today and just look a little bit better at the plate. But Doug, is it time to give away some sandwiches?
Absolutely.
So let's do it.
Feed the people.
Now, there are only 79 entries, so if you haven't yet, get your hashtag Raise It in the comments for your chance to win 2 free Primanti Brothers sandwiches. We're giving away 4.
How can you be watching college football now? Come on. In this important part of the season?
These silly people. You silly gooses. So as we wait, we now have 80 comments, 80 entries. There was a comment here, just to maybe bring this up because, we are talking about Ben Cherington. If there is a new GM, and I do bring this up because actually Jim and I were kind of talking about this last night. If there is a new GM, Mark asks, do they keep DK as manager?
I think I saw another comment that said, a new GM will probably want his guy, but I wouldn't be adverse to keeping Donnie Kelly at all. He's done some weird bullpen stuff. He's done some really interesting bullpen stuff, but that game against St. Louis the other day where he just kept Haney forever, 5 straight 2-out hits kind of drove me crazy.
Sure.
But again, his limitations and who can he use, that sort of thing. They've certainly, to me, I don't have any records here in front of me or anything, but they've played better. I think they look like they've got a little more fire. They're a little more engaged with Donnie Kelly. Donnie Kelly worked with Jim Leland, and that's obviously a connection we love. He's a Pittsburgh guy. I would not be mad at all, and actually, I'd probably be pretty happy about it. I think Jim Leland, when he had terrible players, he'd lose 100 games. When he had great players, he'd win 95. So get Don Kelly some good players, and I think we'll get some good results. He's. I don't think he's hurt the team in any way at all, and he's got a little of that fire that we like. And the bullpen is the hardest thing in the world because you can do exactly what you're supposed to do, and that guy gave up 4 runs, and then you look like a fool. So, I won't be mad. I won't be mad at all if they bring him back. I don't know what they'll do. I wouldn't be surprised if
sure.
What's his name? Nutting would say, I want to keep the manager, to any new GM. So,
Yeah, I think it's a fair question. Interesting. I do think if Cherington remains, it's very likely Kelly stays. If it is a new GM, I think what Kelly has done shows that there's potential he could stay. But I think it's less obvious, that he's going to be a manager if there's a new GM. But I think he has a shot. Yeah. So, and again, the Pirates have certainly played better since he's been the new manager, and obviously since the trade deadline, especially since the All-Star break.
Mike says 49-50.
Yep. All right. So we have 82 entries now. So let's go ahead and draw for our first winner. Of course, everyone that's in the chat right now, go ahead and subscribe, do all that fun stuff. We do appreciate you guys.
Join. We got 10 new members today. Join them.
Ty's dad wins. Is this Okay, hold up now. I'm starting to think it's rigged. Is this his third time winning? I know it's his second time.
It's at least his second time, right?
Still no Bucko Mike, but Ty Ty's dad has won
Bucko Mike
at least twice.
But Ty Ty's dad, which might just be Ty Ty, let's be honest. And
I'll tell you one thing. I know what Ty Ty's at the Ohio State game right now. He's in probably no condition to be in the entries right now. So I can tell you it's probably not Ty Ty.
Yeah. Poor Archman.
All right. Well, Ty Ty's dad, you know how to reach us. Or just tell your son to give you your sandwiches. Jim. Our second winner is not the coward.
Did he? I think he won the last time you and I did the show. Or no, it was Neil and I. When Neil and I did the show. It was like 2 days ago.
You know what's funny? Is I think I remember adding his name.
Yeah, he just won. We did because we were saying, I think that's a new name. I haven't seen that before, and now he's a multiple-time winner. So congratulations, not the coward. Hey, Ty Ty's dad.
You know, today was about scoring multiple runs. Today's also about having multiple winners for Get From Any Brother sandwiches. So both of you guys know how to reach us, apparently. So go ahead and do so. Let us have your emails, which honestly, I probably have them. I'll just upload them all for you right now anyways. But just to be safe, email us at northshore9@gmail.com. We'll make sure your names get added to the list, and you guys can get 2 more sandwiches. Jeez. So greedy. No. We love you all. So, yeah, so that's that. Pirates win 10-3. They play tomorrow. Sweep, Doug? Sweep?
I think go for sweep. I think Cam Devaney should get the start. He got called up.
Over Triolo?
Yes, only because he's from New England, and he should get to start. Oh. He should get to play in Fenway.
No, I think, honestly, I do want to see Cam Devaney get the start for that reason, like you mentioned.
Triolo can play third.
Put Triolo at third, have Devaney at short, run it.
Because shortstop is covered next year. Connor Griffin's going to start opening day, and he and Bubba are going to duke it out all year for Rookie of the Year.
Absolutely. Love it. All right. Well, that's our show. The way I love Jared Triolo, I love you all as well. So we appreciate you guys sticking through, watching. And yeah, we have the last game of the series tomorrow. Hey, also Nathan's new video is going to be up tomorrow morning. It's going to be about reliving Jared Jones's debut in Miami, the 10 strikeouts there. So watch that.
That is well worth watching.
It's already, so if you're a member of North Shore 9, you get early access to it, so you can watch it right now. The 10 new members that were able to join today, thanks to Rob, you guys can watch that video today as well. And then also tomorrow, Justin Horwitz for our members will debut. So that show is going to go live Monday at 7 p.m. But for our members, you guys will get access to that for a day early. So again, for everyone that's an NS9 member, you guys can watch our interview with Justin Horwitz.
26 general manager Justin Horwitz. I didn't
say anything. Now, okay, I'm not. I
just want to be clear.
I'm not here to give any ideas, but yeah, the director of amateur scouting, Justin Horwitz, we interviewed a couple days ago. So that'll debut on Monday. And again, for our members, you guys will have access to that early tomorrow. So
Bucko Brew Monday morning as well.
Bucko Brew Monday morning. Yeah, our Labor Days, we're still packed. We're still doing things because we are stupid.
Well, we honor Labor Day by actually doing labor. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. We don't do real work any other time. So let's do it on Labor Day. All right. We're out of here. Again, thank you all. Long ass show.
Everybody.
We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube, if you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.